Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope, is not only one of my favorite movies of the year, but it's also one of the most thought-provoking. On the surface level, the movie is just about some horse farmers that get terrorized by a UFO, but I think the movie represents a much more modern approach to fame. This is purely my own opinion and what I took away from the film. Art is subjective, and subjectively, this is what I thought of Nope. The film feels distinctly metaphorical when contextualized with Peele's initial directorial success with Get Out and subsequent semi-falter with Us. Let me give some background on the whole ordeal. Get Out was praised by all when it first came out. Peele was already cemented as having a spot among Hollywood's elite directors because audiences had felt that he had sufficiently shown his true capability with the film. In Get Out, Jordan Peele properly utilized the horror genre to tell a deeply relatable story about racism that felt organic, while also using his comedic chops with Lil Rel Howery's acting to represent the audience in certain scenes. A thematic structure that could mimic the real world and a truly intriguing concept like The Sunken Place, and boom, you have one of the most refreshing films of the 2010s. The film left a lot to be desired from Peele, and audiences eagerly awaited his next project. Cut to 2018 and his second film gets an official announcement. Entitled Us, the anticipation built quickly and rose to its peak when the initial trailer came out. A confusing trailer with a solid cast of up-and-coming actors is exactly what audiences had wanted, until the film came out. Now, I remember when the movie first came out, people didn't initially enjoy it as much as Get Out. I never heard anything that it was horrible, but I don't remember people enjoying it to the degree of Get Out. In retrospect, there are some great reviews out there for the film, but I strayed away from watching it after seeing a number of people saying that it was not better or on par with Get Out. I say all of this to explain how Jordan Peele would approach audiences fluctuating. Flash forward to Nope in 2022, Peele reunited with Daniel Kaluuya and brought in Keke Palmer to head his next horror epic that would blend with the sci-fi genre. All you can really tell from the first trailer is, this looks like a spaceship. So the movie is about aliens and a spaceship, right? Well, on the surface level, the film examines the animalistic nature of the real world. Humanity deems itself the apex predator and looks to control other beings by utilizing their own intelligence. Jean Jacket, the name of the monster in the film, turns out to be this ribbon-like creature that stalks prey and despises eye contact from those in its domain. It takes issue with this because it feels that whatever is trying to look at it has to have malicious intent. I have to say, the film's premise is beautifully crafted around the best parts of the horror genre. The feeling of the unknown in the film builds up so many moments that have such a spectacular payoff, such as the mantis scene or even the kids dressed up in the barn. I digress. About halfway through the film, Jupe, played by Steven Yeun, claims he calls the ship the Viewers. On top of this, OJ, played by Kaluuya, and the cinematographer go to get the bait horse for Jean Jacket and exclaim, "It's time to bring the star out of the trailer." This is about where I started to put together this theory. Jean Jacket represents the general public, consumer, and audience. Yin's character represents Hollywood or any conductors of fame, and the main characters OJ and Emerald, played by Keke Palmer, represent celebrities. Jean Jacket, or the public, follow the Haywoods non-stop. It sits, waits, and watches their every move. Celebrities and normal regular people in the position of fame usually aren't that open about everything in their private lives. They take issue with this, viewing it as harassment, which it is, and look to not only satisfy their curiosity with understanding the audience, or Jean Jacket in this case, but plan to put an end to its persistent annoyance. Jean Jacket takes offense to them viewing it because, again, it believes that they are prey and filled with malicious intent. You could say this dynamic represents cancel culture, but I personally believe that this just represents how celebrities have to constantly portray themselves as this larger-than-life figure rather than being their own regular self. The audience usually doesn't like being criticized. The masses enjoy fan service, pandering, and any praise you can give them. After all, the artist is usually in a position of power and wealth, while the audience has to sacrifice their hard-earned money to simply view the art. Well, if Jean Jacket's the audience, then how does Jupe or Hollywood play into it? Well, Jupe looks to cater to the audience, or Jean Jacket. He believes he has a rapport with the audience and knows exactly how to satisfy it. He does this to the point that he gives it a horse every Friday just to satisfy it. This gives him, or Hollywood, the illusion of control. This is merely an illusion because you can never control your audience. No matter how big of a company you are, your audience will never be 100% satisfied forever. Review bombs, hate trains, angry hashtags, and boycotts give the audience far more power than Hollywood has. The only reason it doesn't appear this way all the time is because of how divided and unorganized a centralized audience can be. When the TMZ dude shows up in all chrome, it feels representative of people with fame or influence trying to combat audiences. Other celebrities see this and think to stray them away from this idea, but their ego, frustration is just far too great to sway. They want to make a stand and criticize the audience in hope of getting the masses to understand or relax, but this simply isn't the nature of entertainment. Outspokenness towards those responsible for your initial success is drama, and drama sells. TMZ in real life are more than willing to capitalize on the downfall of a celebrity rather than side with them to prove a point. It's a fun bit of irony and clearly a way for Peele to comment on the uselessness of paparazzi in the grand scheme of true art. Now, one thing that audiences truly hate is when something is obviously ingenuine, artificial, or downright fake. For example, remember that Imagine cover all those celebrities did in the middle of the pandemic?
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
They were obviously not struggling as much as the everyday person, and it was rejected by the masses as a result. It wasn't relatable, enjoyable, and didn't feel like it came from a place of true struggle. There was no genuine feeling of trying to create unity. It was just forced drivel made to make everyone in the video seem like they were experiencing the same pandemic regular people were, hence why everyone took the opportunity to shit on it. Now, when Jean Jacket eats, it has to discard the excess indigestible objects, keys, wallets, flags, coins, etc., or the inorganic. Audiences can't consume things that don't feel authentic or lively because there's simply nothing to relate to. Now, the one motif that took some time to figure out was the upright shoe, and Peele deliberately showcases the shoe in numerous shots and even has Jupe's character build a shrine around the Gordy trophy room with the upright shoe being his mantelpiece. I think this entire part of the film represents Hollywood's marketing of traumatic events and how it serves to capitalize on these things. Jupe mentions that people pay thousands to see this room, but elects to show it to the celebrities or the main characters on a whim. He's more than happy to discuss it because it is so easily marketable. Hollywood has this morbid fascination with showcasing and trivializing traumatic events, and this is Jupe's thematic representation of the brutal events he witnessed as a kid, but instead of trying to repress the memory or even bury the show outright, he essentially builds a monument to the entire thing. The same show that gave him the idea that he could control the animalistic nature or the audience. To me, the entire film is a meta-criticism of the very cycle used to create it. Entire experience is a spectacle to behold and leaves me eager to see what Peele has up his sleeve next. I think Peele is just trying to point out the obvious downside to having such a divided audience and the true trouble that can come from not only trying to satisfy that audience, but trying to reason with it. Some look to abuse it, others look to sympathize with it and create deeply meaningful pieces surrounding these various human concepts.
Rejected